Hay bales shall be placed between all construction and wetlands per hay bale policy.
Okay.
But if, you're right, if they appeal.
Call the meeting to order at 5:30. I'm gonna skip right through some of our stuff and we get straight to informal issuance of order of conditions for DEP file number SE 2690888, South Street East, Douglas A. King.
Can you just give us a couple minutes on that, please? Yeah, I could just finish it up here. Hit something else first, or?
Everybody have a chance to review the minutes of February 20th, 2013?
Yes.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Who wants to get paid? Yeah, we'll pay this one.
Keep on reading on.
Correspondence.
They all have copies in front of them also.
I am writing on behalf of Mass Audubon's Oak Knoll Wildlife Sanctuary. We had tried emailing last month, but were told by conservation agents in other towns that our emails ended up in their spam folders, so we wanted to try again. We have recently received a local cultural council grant to conduct a series of free guided nature walk programs in Raynham. The programs are called Discovering the Nature of Your Community and focus on the different aspects of natural world found in Raynham and in surrounding parts of Massachusetts. We would appreciate your input as to what open spaces in your community would be ideal to host these programs. We hope to have 20 to 30 people join us at each and welcome your suggestions as we plan our outreach efforts. Thank you for your time.
They clean the trails as they go.
Actually, the Hewitt Pond area may be suitable for that, since it's been redone.
Yes, it's been redone, it looks good up there.
Okay.
We just want to have Gail send an email back with Hewitt Pond.
You have the Dora Pine.
Dora Pine, yeah, Dora
Right.
Pine and Hewitt, I think, are two.
Dora Pine is the one that was, it's over here, right? The old
Over
iron
by-
forge?
Yes.
Or whatever it is.
But over the winter, I don't know what it looks like over the winter. We've had a rough winter.
Would that
Well, you're the new guy, maybe we should send you out there to clean it up.
Would we invite them up there, or let's see?
I think we just need to identify areas that they could use for that.
How about the park and rec walking trail,
Yeah.
the senior centers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rec?
yep.
that's a
Around
good,
Borden Colony?
that's a
Mhm.
Yeah,
good
that's
walk.
good. Yeah, springtime.
That's probably the best one.
Okay.
It's the longest one, yeah.
Yeah.
Hewitt Pond's not very long, it just
Yeah,
goes
just
a
send them
mile and a half or
correspondence
two
that we have
around.
some areas that they're
See
gonna,
what they're looking for.
Okay. You want a motion on that?
Yeah, motion to have Gail be in charge.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
that's a pretty quick one.
Watch out!
Smooth.
Yeah.
Need some help defending out loud. Need a day, let me know.
What's this?
That is the property that just came before us, Duke Drive, the house that they came in and they flipped it
yeah.
over. Now they want to do some more work on it. And they want to know, they have to come back before you. They now want to do.
Hold that for us.
Okay. Yep, you all have that in front of you also.
That's the Duke Drive
Yep.
correspondence.
Pretty well.
Okay, we're gonna go back to going forward to the South Street East, Doug King. Everyone's had a chance to review Marty's
Mm-hmm.
special conditions, and does anyone have anything?
I thought they were well done and comprehensive. I think they looked at what we're looking for in terms of how to manage that development.
I just have one question on number 24. Because they're removing invasive species, there should be no bearing, should that say no bearing of anything on site?
On 24?
Yes.
No construction site burial hole shall be located.
Very much.
So-
I think the purpose of that condition, I believe, is so that stumps and whatnot is not buried on site, correct?
Right.
See, these
But
are-
where it's such
Yeah.
a large parcel, I'm just
Yeah.
worried that they're gonna
To bury the
bury
slash.
some stumps that's
Yeah.
wrapped with invasive species
Yep.
farther up the property and just,
Yep.
So
Well,
you want
there-
to, shall be located on the property?
no, I think there should be,
Shall not.
no, shall not bury anything
That's
on the
what I
property.
yeah,
No, shall
yeah,
not.
okay.
So we'll just strike within 100 feet of any wetland area, within 200 feet of any riverfront area? And put,
But that may
On-
be included in the last one, if you go to, see the last page, 44, number 44.
Yeah,
Yeah,
These are actually outstanding conditions that I sent out
Yeah.
to Marty to tweak
Yeah.
for this piece of
Yep.
property, so that's.
yeah,
what-
these, yes. So what I did was I took your general special conditions that you attached to all your orders, and I changed anything that I had that didn't work together. And I left a lot of them in there, including that one. I mean, some of them weren't applicable, and I did put not applicable, but others, I just left it. It didn't really matter if they were in there. And that was one of them, but,
I mean, if I'm correct, depending on the acreage, you're allowed to, by DEP standards, you are allowed to bury X amount of waste on site, correct?
I don't know that, answer to that question. I don't
Okay.
know. But according to their invasive species management plan, they're not supposed to be burying anything on the site. Everything has to be handled properly. So they do have that in their specs, that they're gonna,
Okay.
handle it so it doesn't,
But the order of condition would carry more weight, correct?
it would. So, I mean, you
so
can,
let's just
Yeah.
strike that out and put in on property. Shall be located on property. No construction site burial holes shall be located on property.
I would like
or
to see
adjacent,
that.
I would add or adjacent
Or just
property.
say property. That's
On the
fine.
property or adjacent property,
That'd be great, thank you.
okay.
Agreed.
Okay.
Because they're going to be stockpiling and using the adjacent property, 512, as their staging
Yeah,
area.
the staging area for
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
And I didn't want to see anybody get lazy and just decide to dig holes there and
yeah,
contaminate it.
that's right. And then number 12 of my, it was actually D12, staging of equipment and stockpiling of materials for handling and disposal shall be greater than 100 feet from the wetland resource area. No stockpiling of material shall occur in the 100-year floodplain. So that doesn't really jive now with what, I guess that's, okay. I guess that's really two different things, because that's
Yeah.
staging and
Yeah,
stockpiling
right,
versus
yeah.
burying. Okay,
Right,
yep,
right.
all right.
Anybody else have anything else to add? Subtract?
No, it's good.
Comment?
All right, excellent.
Do you have anything else that you'd like to add? Subtract? Comment?
Nope, what I'll do is I'll send Gail the version that adds the staggered hay bales, so that you
Okay.
have that. I'll send that along.
Okay.
All right, I'd like to thank you for the time and effort that you put into this,
You're
and your
welcome.
quick
Excellent job.
response when we needed you desperately.
No, thank you. It was a good
When
project.
does the 21 days expire?
Next Wednesday,
So
so,
this needs to get out
yes,
this
so
week.
Right.
Marty's gonna finish up. If you want to sign tonight
Yep.
and have it all set to go, and
We
when
should
she
do that.
sends
We
me
should
that
do that.
paperwork, then I will put it all together and have it out hopefully by Friday.
Yep. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay.
What I'll do is I'll accept changes
Yep.
here, can make the
Yeah,
other,
changes
and then
now.
I'll send that along too.
All right, very good.
Okay, does anyone wish to make a motion?
To motion to accept the
To issue an order of conditions,
conditional
right?
order of conditions as presented
Oh,
this evening?
we have to approve the project first, right?
No, you closed the project
No,
also?
We already
Yes,
closed.
we haven't voted,
Now we're voting to issue an order of
Okay.
conditions.
Order of
which is-
conditions.
all right.
So I make that, that we accept the order of conditions as presented
With revisions.
in the,
Revisions?
in revision. Yes, thank you, with
With
revisions.
revisions, yeah. And seconded?
Of the, do I have to read that into the DEP file? I have to read that whole thing?
Yep.
What?
Issuance of order of conditions, DP file number.
2690888.
So Street East.
Douglas County.
All right, so we have a motion and a second.
Yep.
Yep. that's the
All in
motion.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Where was Azu stuck?
You just said traffic.
We actually talked to representatives at the NRCS, that's this project. That's the stuff this weekend. And they indicated that they are responsible for monitoring at ongoing basis to make sure the work is done properly, and that the hay and mowing and all that.
This one?
Yeah.
It's not something we're gonna close anyways, right? Has he reviewed it at all?
Yeah.
And they actually knew about
Do
the
you have
project.
comments on it?
Okay, no, that's good.
They're out of the Wareham office.
In the application.
So
Paul, you wanna read, we're gonna go into formal. I have to hold off on the Android thing for a few minutes, okay? You wanna open the formal?
What do, just this, we don't have any other things to?
Yeah, you're gonna have it in a second. As soon
Yeah.
as you open it, then we're gonna turn around and Larry will give you the tear sheet to read.
All public meetings, all public hearings and meetings heard by the Raynham Conservation Commission on Wednesday, March 6, 2013, at 5:30 PM in the Raynham Veterans Memorial Town Hall, Donald L. McKinnon Meeting Room, 558 South Main Street, Raynham, Mass., are relative to filings and joint hearings and/or meetings under Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, as amended, and the Town of Raynham Wetland Protection Bylaw.
You're gonna read off the tear sheet, Willie Johnson, okay?
Yeah, sheet and green cards.
Wait.
Where's the locus? Teresa Road, I don't know where that is.
Tear sheet and green cards?
All classifications.
That's done, that's done, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Is it because that's...
Can you read
The Gazette? It's not the original one. Is it in there?
As is very particular about it being the original one. Original tear, from the original paper. That's up to you guys. It's got the date on it and everything.
It's all there.
Monday,
It's all there. It's all-
February
it's a-
25th.
It's a copy of the paper, so.
It's plenty of time.
It's up to you.
I think it's okay.
Is it too far in advance?
No, 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 no. No, it's not, that's fine. Only 5
Oh,
days.
5 days, okay.
Okay.
Before that, it can't necessarily after that.
You need to read this.
You want to
right?
read it?
Yeah.
Okay, you agree that we're going to accept? Okay,
We all agree that we'll accept that.
okay.
This time.
Notice of public hearing, Raynham Conservation Commission. In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, in the Town of Raynham Wetland Regulations, the Raynham Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on the notice of intent filed by Silver Engineering Associates, SEA, on behalf of the applicant Richard Donato. The property is identified as Assessors Map 4, Lot 108-9, 0 Cody Lane. The applicant proposes to construct a single-family house, well, driveway, and associated grading within the buffer zone to a bordering vegetated wetland. A meeting will be held with the Conservation Commission on Wednesday, March 6, 2013, at 5:30 PM at the Raynham Town Hall, 558 South Main Street, Raynham, Mass. Okay. that's
Okay.
re-
He's
Oops.
actually going to take it back. Didn't have the original.
Okay. Oh.
I apologize. My name is Lawrence Silva from Silver Engineering Associates. And the property that we're looking at here is at the end of Cody Lane. The resource area, which was delineated by Dr. Hewitson, is pretty straightforward, follows topography to the rear of the site, and is shown on the plan here. Most of the activity related to this house lot will be at least more critical items like septic system would be outside of the buffer zone, but the house and grading and driveway would be within it. Also, the well construction would be located also in the buffer zone. And it's pretty much very evident out there in terms of the wetland. There was nothing really difficult about this flagging. And so what we're looking for is the issuance of an order so that we'd be able to move forward with construction.
The closest you come is within 26 feet.
Yeah, on some of that grading to the rear.
Yeah.
And this is the largest box, that they were considering. It was a large Victorian home with a side entrance garage. My guess is when the reality sets in as to what it costs to build that they'll probably size the box down a little bit. But because we couldn't do perk tests up until this month, so we just scheduled the perk test now, but we actually had done test pits in here. There's beautiful sand in here, no restrictions in terms of groundwater and so forth. So there's no problem with the septic system because it's pretty far away from the resource area, and we know that that's not going to be an issue
There's
there.
no septic on Cody Lane?
They're all septic.
I mean, there's no sewer?
No,
Huh.
no. It's
It's one of
Just-
those streets.
it's one of those streets that are just not there. But actually, the soils here were really nice soils in that area. Looks like actually, in this area here, somebody had borrowed some material out of there too. And it was still endless going down.
All right.
So the house could actually be ending up smaller than the actual.
Oh, that's the
lot.
maximum that it could possibly be. It's more likely going to shrink, if anything.
Is the front location for the front of the house gonna maintain the same?
Yes, because that's where the setback line is.
Okay.
The setback line is this dotted gray line coming across, so that's really at the maximum front forward. These plans that they had come forward with were pretty significant plans for a really nice home, but it was very, very large Victorian. And it would not be a deck, it would be coming out to a patio in the back.
Osgood didn't get to go out there, right?
I don't think he did a site visit yet, no.
Okay.
So nobody's looked at this.
No.
Okay.
Seeing that none of us really have any questions without a site visit, knowing that you need to be somewhere,
No, actually, if I'm lucky, I might not have to, Rebecca is going to try to make Wareham. If not, I have to go and join her there.
okay.
I've been trying to deal with my wife has been sick, so I've been trying to see if I can balance being back there with her.
Okay, well, I think that we need you to request a continuance to the next meeting
Okay.
anyways. Unless anybody from the public have anything to say about this project. Any questions? Okay. Because nobody's been able to review the line at this point, so.
That's fine.
Everybody in agreement with that?
Yep.
We need to get it up there.
Okay.
Or at least Ozzy. Like the well be.
That continuance would be to when?
20th.
20th?
I'm sorry, the
20th, yeah.
That could be the only problem. He's not getting any easier. I think we'll figure out how to do it, but that'll be fine. I have one in West Bridgewater, and this Wareham one may end up being continued also, but that'll be fine. We'll work it out.
If you need to continue it,
No, we'll be fine.
we just need you to fill out this form.
Yep.
Motion.
Motion to continue to the 20th?
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous.
Want to keep it closer?
Right here, D-O-N-A-T-O.
That's a good spot. I wonder if they have somebody walking. Yeah. That's how they found the North Raynham well over on,
Did you call him when you were
Canfield,
out
the one
there?
back there. That's probably one of the strongest.
You haven't
wells
seen
in South
Azu
Shore.
pulling yet, have you?
That's got more flow rate than, and that's what it was, rods.
Well, they probably, they put it
Suffered from the same thing my wife had. Imposter syndrome. Can't leave the place you're at to go to the next place.
Yeah, but actually, I met with the North Raynham super.
It was really nice.
He said, you know, the guy from there was rods.
He's just late.
And he said, here. And they dug.
The doctor just left. He said you've been diagnosed with departure syndrome.
It was the best spot. They've had so much, yeah, so, they said they've had so much flow, such a high rate of flow.
Yep, that's.
That's fine,
That's
that's fine.
the South Shore, if not the eastern side of the state.
So it's actually the public hearing on this thing.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Let's try to do the request for certificate of compliance.
Do you want me to read that easily?
You can read it.
Yeah.
You made? We don't count those. State your name for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. My name is Ed Brennan. I'm an attorney with an office at 1 Church Green in Taunton, representing the applicant petitioner on the request for a certificate of compliance for 480 South Main Street.
Okay.
I understand that Ozzy did get to do a site walk on it, and there were 3 issues that he communicated to me. I don't know if that was the end of the list, but there was some cement that was dumped where it shouldn't be. There was some washout on one grade, and yeah, apparently you have to cut the grass 3 times before.
There was some bare areas in the
Okay.
lawn, so.
So the cement was broken up and moved today. It's still on site. It will be taken off site tomorrow, weather permitting. The washouts were filled in and mulched over, and that would leave the grass. So recognizing you may not be in a position to grant the final certificate of compliance, we do have a sale of the property probably closing within the next 2 weeks. So if we could get a partial, that would probably be sufficient for the closing.
Okay. I spoke with Azu, and everything that you just said is exactly what he said. We agreed on a partial. because of the bare spots on the lawn. So, if someone would like to make a motion,
Entertaining a motion that we issue a partial
certificate of compliance.
certificate of compliance for 480 South Main Street. Oh, do I have to?
Yeah, SE 2690856.
Okay, I make that in form of a motion then? Yes.
Second.
All in favor of issuing a partial certificate of compliance?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
I didn't hear you vote. I didn't hear you vote on that.
Huh? I didn't hear you, and I didn't give you a chance to be against it either.
I don't see an issue with it.
Holding this for when he shows up.
Yep.
Anybody got anything else? Yes, we have.
We have.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember.
Just for closing. That's all it's for.
I thought we refrained from that, but whatever.
All right. Where do you want to go next?
Home?
6 minutes, you said?
That's what he said. So about 12, I'd say.
Want to recess for a few
Well,
minutes?
do you want to finish up what's up?
How about bills and, bills? Any
This
bills?
is-
Okay, all right.
And then we do
All right,
the
let's do that.
cancel. Get that done?
We had a complaint about four-wheelers on conservation land
Orchard Street.
off Orchard behind Katie. Is that what it is?
Yeah, behind the pond that's on Orchard. I don't know
Mhm.
if you
Oh,
know where
okay, yep.
Dick Andrews lives, and there's a
Yep,
big
yep.
pond. All back in the back there, there's conservation land.
So we
Yeah,
referred it to the
four-wheelers.
police department.
Zipping around in there?
Yeah, tearing it up.
Is that town or state conservation?
Now,
Town.
Where's the access?
Do we,
It's a sewer line.
They're gonna access
Sewer.
it off Katy, I think, right at the end, right on the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
so it's just forwarding a letter to PD and environmental police.
the police department has been notified, so they're going to keep an eye out to see if they, I had got no information except that there was someone out there riding four-wheelers. Nobody knows who it is, where they're getting their access from.
And
And we
guess-
have no way to call anybody back either because it was completely anonymous.
Yeah.
Right.
I would suggest one thing that we probably look into for all our conservation property is signage stating that it is illegal to operate motor vehicles,
Yeah,
Something we can look into.
you know?
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wonder if they can-
if you post it somewhere that it's gonna, that it's
Yeah,
illegal,
post it.
then
Yeah,
it's,
have it posted.
then the police can have a good standing in saying, hey, you can't be doing that. So I think it would be a good idea to post any of our properties in the future against motor vehicle
Now, where would we get that,
usage.
have that signage made?
The same
You
thing-
can
the same
get it
gentleman
anywhere.
that's doing our revamp of our other signs, the one from.
Yeah, but you can
that's
go
goofy.
to,
You get steel signs.
That's
you can
big
probably
feet.
go to Benny's or somewhere and find signs like that.
Does
Or the
highway-
highway, I'm sure the highway has,
I was gonna say, does the highway make signs?
I would
That's how they
think,
buy 'em.
research it. and-
Yeah, they
and
probably
talk
know
to
where
the
to buy 'em,
highway
that type
department
of-
and talk
Find,
Yeah.
yeah,
to other
when-
departments
can you
and see where
find
they-
out
theirs from, police department.
yeah,
and get a
So we'll do
cost,
a research on it.
and get a
yeah,
cost
I'd call
on it.
Roger, he probably has access to it.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Did anybody go out there to see if there's any damage?
I haven't.
No.
The call came in yesterday.
Call came in yesterday, so.
Okay.
Go up on that with
Roger
the-
called yesterday, the Hill Street culvert. There was 3 or 4 huge pine trees that went down into the stream bed. Had to be removed.
So did he give us an emergency certificate for that?
No.
He should have, right?
If we want to make him do an after-the-fact emergency
Maybe.
certificate, we can.
Yeah.
They had fallen off of a property owner's house, right in the stream bed. And could have been a great issue with the potential rains coming in, you know?
Yeah.
So they're removable by,
They removed them from the street.
okay, they were able to reach over and grab
Yeah,
them.
they had a bunch of help there, but they just winched them up.
So he didn't actually go
Be late
into
from
the
Bridgewater.
wetlands to do the work? He was able to
Just
do it?
pulled it
from
up
the
and out. Everything was pretty much done by hand, so.
Right. And probably we don't need to,
No, I would,
No.
that's something like that,
yeah.
It's just
okay.
maintenance, that's just maintenance.
And the other one was the bridge on South Street East at the Taunton line. We removed trees against that bridge abutment.
I think given the severity of that storm, like, you know, things have to be done quickly to get,
And they were afraid of the storm coming.
right,
up,
exactly,
so-
no,
so,
hey,
yeah.
remember, we had two, the blizzard, then the following
Well,
weekend.
the
it blew
DEP did
crazy.
issue a special emergency dispensation.
So, yes, okay, fine,
Yeah, that's what I told him, and I
Yeah.
just told him to send an email.
Yeah.
Saying that he's doing that work.
Okay.
that's good, yeah.
Meeting for June 5th, 2013. We have a couple of conflicts for that date. It sounds like there may not even be a quorum, so.
Nope, I would make a motion that we cancel the June 5th meeting.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You're okay with that, Gail?
I'm okay with that one.
Gail has an anniversary that day.
Of what?
I thought you were going fishing with me that day. I thought you were going fishing that day.
Yeah,
Gone.
yeah,
We issued a partial.
Okay, good.
yeah. Anniversary, biggie, so, you know. All
I
right.
could be drowning my sorrows with starting that day.
Site visit, we're gonna do site visit for Cody Lane. Some,
Yep.
everybody, whatever.
Is that continued?
Yes.
It was continued, because nobody had gone out there to see it yet. Okay.
What was the name of the street there with the quads?
Katie Lane.
Prospect.
Katie.
Katie.
Yeah,
Well,
The quads.
the quads, yeah, Katie Lane.
It's only 3 houses on Katy Lane.
Yeah.
They're all in the cul-de-sac.
Yeah,
So they must be the people.
okay.
For the complaints.
And we don't know where it is out there. It's behind the pond, so are they coming in from which side? I don't know.
Yeah.
Azu, do we want to discuss substitution of straw for hay bales or those wattles,
I still
that
haven't-
issue?
At Performance Plus?
Yes.
Yeah, I still haven't heard back from Dick Keller. I don't know why, and I mean, I left him messages about why I was calling.
Okay.
Probably doesn't want to deal with it, I mean, that's almost my take on it. So,
So the next step is above his head.
all right.
If you're not getting a phone call back.
Yeah, call, because he's, usually if they're not around, they'll put in the recording, it will say that I'm out of the office. It doesn't say that, it just says, I can't get to my phone, please leave a message. So that tells me he's not on vacation, he's working, and I'm assuming that,
All right, should we just brief everybody on where we're at, or?
yeah,
Okay. Performance Plus, there had actually been a call about the fact that the plan required double row, double stake hay bales. My response to that was, that's what the plan calls for, that's what the plan calls for. It's a superseding order with conditions, and that's what you should be using. Went out there, they put in a mulch wattle. They've been driving over it out on the street side, and they've done a lot of work. There's no double row, double stake hay bales around the property. So Azu has been in contact with DEP, which is what he was just telling us about, as far as did they allow it? Did they not allow it? Is this a violation? What's going on?
and we didn't get any correspondence from them indicating that they
Yeah.
requested that. All we had was a letter from the engineer certifying that the erosion control had been staked and installed as approved. So, was there a verbal approval? And,
Approved by who, though?
well, it said a superseding order.
Which
But
is
the
the
superseding order
DEP,
uses
which
the
is the
same plan.
DEP.
But it uses the same plan.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, when it says approved, did they get a approval from DEP to use the alternate erosion control measure? Especially when they're that close to the wetlands.
So I guess at this point, where you've made an attempt to contact them, the burden of proof is on them.
Well, it's not, the burden of proof is not on DEP.
Oh, it's not it's not the
No, no,
contractor?
No, he's trying to
DEP
contact
doesn't.
DEP.
Oh, I'm
Right,
sorry.
I'm trying to contact DEP.
I thought the
so-
contractor wasn't calling you back.
Oh, no.
No, okay.
No, it's
Oh, yeah.
We haven't gone to
D.
the
Keller from
contractor
DEP, the one that came out during the site visit.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and he's the one that, in fact, in the
understand
cover
that.
letter, the
Yeah, I
transmittal
didn't
letter for the superseding order, his name is the contact person. They said to call if you have any questions. So maybe tomorrow I can call Tina Davis or Liz Harris and
See if you get a hold of somebody,
Yeah.
because if they didn't approve it, they're in violation.
that's correct.
We
And
can
then
cease
Yeah, I
and
didn't
desist.
want us to issue an enforcement order that is out of, you know what I'm saying, where it's a superseding order and they've been in touch with DEP. So I don't want to accept information from the contractor,
No.
okay? So I just want to, before we shoot, you want to make sure you're shooting the right target.
Is there going to be an issue with this upcoming storm, do you think? There's that much damage to it?
No, because it's a hole right now.
Okay.
But if the DEP approved this, do we have any jurisdiction?
No, we have authority to, if you look at the superseding order, we have the authority to go on and inspect the site, absolutely.
Okay,
It says the DEP and the Conservation Commission and the agents of the commission.
okay.
I mean,
Okay.
our order of conditions are still in effect. It's just that.
No.
No?
It's a
No,
superseding.
It's a
you got
superseding?
superseded, yeah.
And do we have a copy of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that does not make any reference to any alternate
Erosion
erosion,
control.
no special conditions.
So then you,
And the plan on record is a plan that we acted on,
And that's what they have to have.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But I just want to make sure that they didn't do a letter. I'm giving the benefit of doubt. Maybe DEP issued a letter and forgot to copy us. But I just know, but it's also possible that somebody then had a momentary lapse and didn't pay attention to it. But you just want to find out that.
Well, there was a question about it. I was questioned on it, so it was obviously seen.
Yeah.
How was it followed through with? That's the question.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So, we'll move on to continued notice of intent, DEP file number SE 269-0892, Locust Street, Bassett, Knoll Estates.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Paul McManus from Ecotech, wetland scientist. This is Kelly Cardoza from Avalon Consulting in Taunton, and I think you know the applicant. Basically, since the last meeting, there've been a couple of pieces of information that the commission wanted submitted. We have done that, had a meeting with Azu, and subsequent to that meeting, Azu had requested that someone, there were soil samples collected by the applicant. Azu had wanted some independent confirmation of those soil samples, which I went out and collected and had the samples analyzed at my office, textural analysis by Arthur Allen, my associate, who's a certified professional soil scientist. The results of those of his characterization were very consistent with the lab reports from Tibbetts Engineering that were on the samples submitted by the applicant. So I'm not sure if you've had a chance to go over the other information. One of the pieces that I see folks looking at is some details that you had requested on the replication area. which is, it's consistent with everything previously that was filed, but it just, my understanding was the commission wanted that really pinned down in detail on plan and profile, as well as planting specifications. So the sheets show the actual planting, and then I prepared a narrative specifying the specific plant materials and methodology. So it's really just information to kind of be, to add more specificity to what was already on the plans. So we're really here just to follow up on those submittals. We think that we've given the commission everything that you'd asked for.
Yeah, I would hope so.
It says see shrub list.
I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't either.
The shrub list, Mr. Chairman, is the wetlands, I'm trying to find the date on it.
It's already in our file.
No, well, it's actually a submittal. It's under the Avalon Consulting cover letter dated February 28, which includes a wetland replication planting plan.
We don't have that.
That I prepared.
That's why we don't have it.
We have February 21st as your cover letter here.
This was emailed after our meeting. I have 2 copies. It's on your desk. Okay. I may have an additional one.
That's okay, we'll pass it on.
Yeah, we passed, that's all right.
Oh, okay. I did not see it. I'm sorry about that. I have an additional one.
Yeah, the one that you brought over for my test downstairs, sorry.
16 feet.
But we do have it downstairs, Mr. Chairman. We can put that one in the folder.
You know, it's something like this planting, I just want to see at least a special condition that no COC would be issued on that replication area for a minimum of 2 growing seasons, considering the size of the plants.
I do have one question. Under where it says, Table 1, the planting plan, it says, at the bottom, woody plant material can be provided either by translocating specimens from existing wetland to be altered, or from nursery stock?
Yeah.
Is that acceptable?
Yeah, because basically, what we're saying is, if they have enough, they already are showing you where they're gonna do the replication, and they're saying, if we have something that is native to the area, which is the area they're filling, that would be ideal. But if they don't have enough, then they will have to supplement it with the nursery stock.
Okay, we're not gonna be running out into the wetlands and dig the
Oh,
crap
no,
up.
no.
the area that
Where
they-
the area they're gonna fill.
Just the area.
Yeah, we dig up that stuff, and I mean, that's the ideal situation, because then, you know that it's already native there. But if they're saying also, if that doesn't work, we're gonna, provide nursery stock, so that they can meet the plant count in the.
So before the machines go through, you'll go out and look at the stock and see if there's anything
Yeah, basically.
survivable?
Right, and it's really just as you described it. I did check to make sure we had it, so it's from the wetland to be altered
Yeah.
is the source area.
Right.
And so as you said, if there's material there, and the shrubs in particular, you can often do that. You know, pop them out and set them in, and we like to use whatever's, you know, truly native to the site. But given the fact that the replication area is 4,000 square feet, there's no question that nursery stock would be required. But like I said, as Azu pointed out, you know, you like to use what's already on site to the extent that you can salvage it. And Azu did mention, Mr. Chairman, about the 2 growing seasons, and we
Okay.
expect that as a matter of course, frankly.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say anyways, the order of conditions, if you choose to issue an order of conditions, I will definitely suggest that the work be done under the direct supervision of a botanist. Okay, preferably whoever flagged it, you know, or who prepared the work, so that we know we're getting what we, but you can't dictate the person to do it, but you can require that a qualified botanist. And if they're gonna decide to use somebody other than who prepared it, then we wanna see their qualifications.
Yeah.
And we wanna see and review that and, before we approve that. But definitely, that has to be done. And you want a report of how it's done with photographs, that should be in the order.
That was, I was actually gonna ask that question. With the chance of a one-to-one area not taking, that's what my question was gonna be. Same thing Azu just said, if a wetland scientist was gonna be on site to supervise the planting, to make sure we don't lose any of the square footage that's being replicated.
You know, that's, we consider that to be kind of par for the course these days.
And that gets built,
Excuse me?
the replication area gets constructed before you do your excavation anyways, in order to save those plants.
Right, you have to bring that to
It's the first thing you do.
subgrade and get it ready.
Yep. Anyone from the commission have any more questions of this gentleman? Is there anything?
No, they did exactly what we were asking for. The other thing relates to, although natural heritage, it's already kind of said, as far as the wetlands aspect is concerned, they're happy, and now they're dealing with the, the endangered species and all that stuff. In an order of conditions, you want to make sure that any conservation management plan, whether it has to do with wetlands or not, that it ties to what the natural heritage is requiring. You want that be made part of your documents that you have on file before they actually start work, so that it will be in their best interest to accelerate the work with the natural heritage.
Has natural heritage finished with all their reviewing?
No. Have you even filed the conservation management plan?
Kelly's taking care of that.
Yeah, so that hasn't been done.
When do you expect that to be done?
We've negotiated the details, the acreage, all of that's done.
Do me a favor, just
I'm
state
sorry.
your name for the record.
Kelly Cardoza, principal of Avalon Consulting Group in Taunton. We've negotiated with Natural Heritage, we've agreed on the acreage. It's a matter of getting final plans prepared and submitting the turtle protection plan, which has already been prepared. I think at this point, getting through the Conservation Commission, making sure that the final numbers are settled, and then it will go into Natural Heritage. You'll certainly be copied on the process. so that you'll be informed.
Yeah, we're not, what I'm saying is you're not gonna let work start until that process is done.
Okay. So we don't need that?
No, not to close the hearing, yeah.
Okay.
No, but that could be part of the condition. is-
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
That's what I just said, yes.
All right, anybody got anything further? Any more from the applicant? The public?
Good evening, Joanne Kellogg, 380 Locust Street. I do have correspondence that I have had with Natural Heritage. I would like you to review it, take a look at it, so you know where I stand, what I have conveyed to them, their comments to me. It take you a few minutes. And take it from there. It's light reading.
Correspondence from. the
My
abutter,
concerns to Natural Heritage.
From Natural Heritage.
That's Natural Heritage.
That's, yeah. No, as long as they're accepted in. I don't think we need to read them.
But we don't know.
Paul will be up all night reading.
I can read quickly when I want to.
He's expert in sped reading.
Right. Can't keep it with the Toyota. The guy used to advertise it for Toyota, but.
Would it be helpful to have her summarize them for us? So-
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Basically, you're Miss Powers, right?
Pardon?
Kellogg.
Joan Kellogg,
Right.
okay.
My
You,
concern,
you said there were basically sending concerns about natural predators for the turtles, and she's not totally concerned about, necessarily about the number of homes being built there. And basically you were addresses states all those concerns. And Natural Heritage saying that while they have not reviewed a conservation management plan based on the history of the project that goes back to 2007, that they believe the project can be done to address our concerns. So basically in line with what I've been saying, so.
one of the things that, in my letter, my concern was they have not identified nesting sites for the turtle. This is an aspect that I brought up in previous meetings. It takes the box turtle approximately 14 years to reproduce. And that span of time, they have to overcome other predators in their habitat. Without identifying nesting sites, there's a strong probability that you're going to wipe out the current nesting sites. And I know that they have suggested that the developer will create new sites for the turtles. Well, that's all well and good on paper, but in reality, the research has been done that shows that the box turtles are like salmon who return to their native streams, go to spawn. The turtles do the same thing. They go to an area they are familiar with. Creating a new nesting area sounds good. In fact, it really is not going to help sustain the population. Putting in a development with roads will increase the mortality rate for the turtles. You have a population that is low in numbers to begin with. Putting in the subdivision is just really going to erase them. It's going to wipe out whatever population is there. Having the wetlands put aside is great. Unfortunately, the turtles need upland, substantial upland habitat to survive. And I honestly don't think that the location of the subdivision is going to enhance their numbers. I think just the opposite. It's going to actually just completely decimate them. And without an assessment on site by Natural Heritage, I feel that they're not coming up with strong facts, strong decisions can be made to certify that, yes, this population is not going to be decimated.
Again, what you're operating, the commission is operating a while, and I understand what you're saying and feel the passion, but that does not negate the fact that you can only operate within the confines of your regulatory authority. The natural heritage is the, exactly, that's why they have the MISA process. So you cannot, the commission cannot, that's why you're saying you're not gonna be able to start work until you've satisfied natural heritage, and we have proof that you've done that. To go beyond that will be the, I think, in my opinion, for you to then insert yourself and say natural heritage, no, you haven't done your job, or you haven't done adequate work. I can't see how you can do that. I mean, from a regulatory standpoint, they're keeping all the stuff from the buffer zones that you have, except for the sewer crossing. And your job is to make sure that what they're doing meets established performance standards. And if they've done that, which at least from 310 CMR 10 and 13140, right now they are on track to meet those performance standards. So
How can they, common sense, how can they make a decision without knowing the location? How can that, as a scientist, how can that be done? If you do not have the facts before you, if you have no idea that, generally speaking, they're in this area, yes, we know that. But without knowing the specific area that they're located.
That's not an argument for us, that's an argument for natural
heritage.
That's the argument that I have presented in my letter.
Right, unfortunately.
Right.
So we're gonna.
We can't control how Natural Heritage does their investigation.
Okay. Now, my concern is there has been no assessment on this particular site. It's been under, pardon?
They have to do what they have to do.
Right.
Before anything can go forward.
Is that an issue that can be tabled for proceeding with this, that an assessment be done?
No.
Okay.
I just said right here that the order of conditions has to indicate that that process with natural heritage has to be completed before they can start any work.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. If that assessment could be part of an order of conditions, is what I'm asking.
Yeah, it can be.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Joanne, I'm going
Thank you.
to put it in the folder. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. That's for you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Anything further? Any more evidence to be presented?
Yeah. In the absence of any of that evidence, Mr. Chairman, I think the meeting has been continued quite a long time, and I think we can now entertain a motion to close the hearing.
You want to ask the applicant if he wants the hearing closed?
I do.
Okay.
Motion to close the hearing.
Second.
Understanding that if there are any changes made at any other departments, it could require a new notice of intent.
Well, it will say that. In
In the conditions?
Motion to continue.
To close the
No,
hearing.
close the
Close the
hearing.
hearing.
Close the hearing, yes.
And a second have been made. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing is closed. We'll issue a decision within 21 days.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we're waiting for one more motion.
Motion to adjourn.
No, he's gonna.
Oh, no.
We
No?
have to finish up on the
Still,
bylaws.
We have to,
And Duke Drive, too. Duke Drive.
Yeah, we didn't, it was a letter that we didn't.
Duke wasn't here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Somebody's got to keep this moving.
No, we just got it. Where's another one?
Yeah,
I have it. You got it. I have it.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
Do I have it?
It's over yet.
Good idea. Right.
all right, let's go on to our next thing, and then we'll go back to that other stuff. Continue notice of a public hearing for the purpose of reviewing and revising the as appropriate, the local wetland protection bylaws and regulations.
As it stands right now, on Monday morning, I got a PDF file from Bill, and I emailed it to Randy, so Randy can pass it along to Mark Antine to review. So that has already been sent off to Randy
so
Buckner.
do we need a motion to close our public
Brian,
hearing?
you don't want to close
No.
it.
No?
We'll wait and see what
Leave it
happens.
open until it actually makes the warrant.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
Make them down for Mark.
Yeah,
changes and
because if
stuff.
they want, the town attorney wants something changed, then you're gonna restart it, so leave it open.
Motion to continue.
Second.
To the 20th of March.
Will we hear back
What?
by then?
Well,
No?
if you're done, you just continue that.
Just continue it until March 20th, I'll tell you.
I think at this point, we need to continue it to March 20th in case he comes back with a change.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then if he doesn't, then we'll have to continue it one more time.
Okay.
Do we want to spend any time talking about fees and schedule, or do we want to just table that till after the?
Table until you have
Till it's
that
accepted.
information the way you talked
Okay,
earlier.
all right.
Because
I gave Bill kind
It'd
of
be
a rough
counterproductive if
estimate
it
of the
doesn't get
past 2 years
approved,
in notice of
right?
intents,
Yeah.
in order
Yeah,
of
true.
conditions and all of that. and
But
He's gonna
maybe
just
we
try
need
to
those numbers
put something
together.
together, numbers, so, again.
Good point. Very good point. Projected revenue.
Motion,
then made, seconded.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Continued to the 20th. Okay. Correspondence that you just reviewed.
Just that.
Yeah, yeah, they just wanna put I don't see a problem with what they wanna do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they need to come before us?
Or can they just do as built at the end?
How close is it gonna be to the wetlands?
Just a sprinkle, just a sprinkle
No,
line.
he's also putting a,
No,
I thought there was a fence.
there's a fence too, yeah. Read the bottom page.
And a patio, too. Is it within the buffer
Did they
zone?
already close out it says here they have something that was already approved.
that's the one that was on Duke Drive that they
Yeah,
came in and they
yeah.
built the.
Right, right.
They came in and
Right,
Princess Lane.
well, I'm trying to remember the
I
engineer.
thought they had the house moved a little bit. They changed the entrance to the different street.
Yes.
Yeah, and actually increased the buffer zone.
And then they came in,
Yeah,
the property, the developer came in, and that, we
Yeah.
determined.
It's been changed 100 times.
no, the last time they came in here.
That was the Lopes companies there.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who the engineer was. Because the guy that's actually building the house came with the Lopes. Came with the guy from Lopes. And then we said it was not a problem. In other words, what they're doing, they're saying they're doing it within the area they're clearing, that's already approved. All they want to do is put a fence along that. I mean, I would like to see a fence there, because that will provide almost a living barrier.
Yeah.
So they're saying we want to put a fence, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with the fence, it just, there is wetlands of the property, I don't want them to be putting
no,
within the
because it
25.
says here, within the area that you already allowed them to clear. So what they, basically their concern was, because we said in the order, any modification requires that you come back. And so they are saying, does this,
This is
I
minor.
don't, this is
in nature.
minor.
This
Yeah.
is
I
minor.
mean, could we just ask for them to draw it on a plan to show us, to show one of, anybody?
If you want, but you have an approved limit of work, they are not expanding their approved limit of
Still
work.
within the limit of work, it's
They
just.
just
a
Well,
change.
it doesn't really say that.
Yeah, it does, Dave.
Yeah. This is already on the approved, right? Where we are allowed
To clear the land.
We're allowed to clear the land.
Approve the building plan modification last fall as there are wetlands on property to build. We would like to put 6-foot fence on the uplands area where we are allowed to clear the land.
So that's within the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
can do something to the land.
We would also like to put in a concrete or paver patio on the backside of the house within the boundary of the aforementioned fence.
Right.
So they're saying, we want to stay with where you already allowed us. Basically, they just don't want to come back and with an as-built, and then all of a sudden we say, oh, we never
Yeah.
allowed a patio. That's all.
And you're saying the fence is going to enhance the whole,
We'll protect the wetlands, because you know they're not gonna go past that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna build a 6-foot high privacy fence and then do work on the other side of it. Logically. Oh, they might be putting grass clippings.
Look at the guy over here, and I'll rest
Yeah.
my case on that one.
They might be putting grass clippings, well, the guy over here didn't put a chain link fence. These guys are doing chain.
No, he put a 6-foot-high block wall. It's a living wall, but that's, I'm just trying to cover our bases, that's
No,
all.
but basically, what he's saying here, it's, in other words, a plan can be drawn and can be in a narrative form, right? When they say, well, do you have an evacuation plan? A lot of times, it's not saying, did you draw a plan? A plan is something, an idea put together, what you want to do. So if you find that this is minor, then that's it. It reflected on the as-built. If you find that it's major, then they need to provide an amended notice of intent. I do not believe that this is a major modification.
we need to vote on this?
Yeah, that it's a minor, and that the as-built, that the changes be reflected on the as-built.
You okay with that?
No, he's not.
You'll know my vote in a minute.
All right, okay, well, I'm going to make a motion that we accept
The
the proposal
proposal
before us
as a minor
as a
modification.
minor
For
modification.
And that it-
discussion,
and that
I'll
it-
second
And
it.
that it be reflected on an as-built.
And to be
that-
reflected on an as-built.
Paul, and that it be reflected on an as-built.
And then it be reflected on the as-built.
And I second it,
Yes.
For discussion?
for discussion.
Okay, anybody have any further discussion on this?
No?
Seeing none.
Or hearing none.
Hearing that.
Hearing none. Caring for none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Unanimous.
You ready for another motion?
There's no reason
Can we make
to bust people.
another motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Who cares? Yeah, there's one. There's one in every crowd.
Gentlemen,